This is the Crafting with Opal program that we do usually every other Thursday, but last week, because of the ice, we had to postpone this program to this week. And this one is one that we're going to show you how to make a quilled Valentine's Day card with a little bit of watercolor involved. So here's an example. The background's done in watercolor, and then this part is done with the quilling. So Miss Megan's going to teach y'all all about this today, and if you got your supplies, then you will have gotten a card and some watercolor in the brush and some of the quilling paper and possibly glue and quilling tool if you didn't already have them. So I'm going to switch the camera around and let Miss Megan take over. And I got to actually lower it where you're not just seeing the top of her head.
I am short.
So here we go.
Hi guys, I'm Megan from the Nixon Library. I wanted to teach you how to make this super duper easy and fun card. I think this card's a really good basic card to begin with, as you're able to construct it in different ways, do different designs, and even create your own card with the same tools that you'll learn here. First things first, we're using watercolor paper that we cut and bent into the card shape. Second, we're going to need our brush and quilling tool, some glue, which is already overflowing. We'll need a light blue color, watercolor, some water, 2 strips of pink or purple or whatever color you want your heart to be, a strip of brown for your basket, and a thin strip of black for the wires.
And maybe a paper plate, possibly.
Paper plate, yeah. Something you could do it over, anything to make it a little bit less messy in my case.
And paper towels will be very handy too
Paper
for
towels.
the watercolor part for sure.
And there's also the trick that will show you how to make clouds.
Alright, I'm going to do some adjusting here to show her actual table here where she's going to be working.
First things first, quick disclaimer, I am not by any means a painting expert. If any tips you see are terrible, blame me, do not blame Miss Opal. She's the one with the talent with the painting here. So, this is just me dibbly-dabbling. Alright, so get some water on your brush.
And I'm wondering, is this going to be upside down? Shoot. I wonder if I should I somehow come
I can
around?
do it backwards. Let's do this backwards. I got this. I do backwards things all the time. I'm
okay. I was just thinking maybe I should come around to your side of the table.
Alright, so first things first, we're going to wet down our watercolor paper. Just not too much. Tap it. I'm going to give it a nice little base for our paint to start on, because we want a very ombre, not perfect background, because the sky isn't perfect. Alright, now going with your blue. Get a little bit of touch of blue there. And just start doing streaks. You can do swirls. Get a little water. Make it a little lighter. Again, Opal, I know you're probably judging my skills. This is just the basics. This is just the most basic of the basic. If you're like me and you're not the greatest painter, you can still enjoy things like watercolor. Technique may just be terrible. Okay.
Well, that's the thing about watercolor. You can smear it around on the paper with water. So once you get it on there, and this is just the sky, so it doesn't have to be like a solid blue.
So that's the thing, is that it can be patchy. It can be a little funky. It can be a little weird because it's the sky. You always want to do the background first, because we need to let this dry, because we will be applying paper to it and glue. You want that to stick.
How long does it take to dry? Is it going to be?
It can take a few minutes, but by the time we're done quilling, it takes nothing
Ah,
to
okay.
add to it. Because we're going to just do kind of a thin layer of blue. It's not going to be that much. And if yours is having a little time drying, you can always go ahead and use a hair dryer.
Just don't use it with the heat setting.
Nope. Just stick it in front of a fan, blow on it for about 3 minutes. It's up to you. Add a little extra color down there. And then what you can do is take, this is a tip from Opal.
Well, I learned this too from watching videos.
Take a little,
Paper towel.
wash it. And as you notice, it starts making little round designs, like clouds. Makes it a little patchy. See? And this also helps it to dry a little bit faster. As you can tell, this is almost completely dry now.
Mhm.
Just slightly damp.
And if you want it to be really flat, I guess you could always let it dry really good, and then after it's nice and dry, flatten it underneath a heavy book, probably.
Yeah, that's how you can do it with this. Right now, this is the lesson plan. Just teaching you real quick. Alright, we're going to take our strips of pink. We're going to go in with our quilling tool. Now this is the hardest part, trying to get it to fit. And we're going to just start quilling.
It's just turning it onto the quilling tool.
I recommend using your finger to help kind of guide it so it doesn't tornado, which it will because it wants to. We're going to be doing the heart.
And this is just one strip that you're doing. Okay.
We're just doing one strip. Now, once you do it, make it a little bit tight. You're going to pull it off. Make sure it doesn't tornado. Keep a nice tight hold on it. Squish it. And then, that's when you're going to start letting it pop open. And you can kind of help it pop open a little bit more. Because you want it to get a little bit unfurled. Not too much. Just enough that it adds a little pizzazz to our heart. And I say about 1 inch diameter, like so.
Oops. Oh, yep. Look. There we go.
Right here.
All right.
About a 1 inch diameter. Okay, set that down. Get your glue. You can also just, if you want, use a toothpick, whatever. Just take your glue and then use the end of this. Gently apply. And then a 1 inch diameter circle. I'm going to fold that down. Make sure it's nice and even. And then we're going to take the little bit more open end. We're going to pinch that down. Just like this.
All right. So that's half of the heart, isn't it?
Now, we do another 1 inch diameter. One thing about quilling that's really nice is that you can't really mess it up too bad because it's easy to unfurl, it's easy to fix. And there's also a multitude of ways that, okay, this piece doesn't work. I can save this for later. I have multiple pieces in my quilling toolbox that they didn't work for what I needed, so I went ahead and I've saved them for other projects.
Okay.
And it's kind of one of those things that you don't really waste it. Same with needle felting. There's not much you're wasting when you use it. It's a very reusable craft. Alright, back to that. Make it about 1 inch. Gotta loosen it up. This is always the fun part, seeing it spring and bounce. It's about 1 inch. And you can always kind of measure, see. You need to make it a little smaller, a little bit bigger. So easy.
You're just dipping the end in the
Mhm.
glue.
That's another thing. You can just dip it and then gently wipe it off. That's why it's best to have a little bit of glue on like a napkin or a piece of paper or something firm. It's just easy just to either use that and then it just dries off. Okay. Gonna grab my corner. Pinch it. To have some heart. Alright, we're gonna go in with your brown strip. This is the one that I also brought another strip to show you another design that you can do. Because the basket part is simple, but you could do it multiple ways. For this, you're gonna just coil it. It can be kind of loose, not too loose. I always recommend guiding it because it will start spinning out of your hand. Okay. Alright, so once you get to that, you're going to let it pop open a bit. And you're going to take your fingers and work it around, make sure it starts to open up. Because again, you want it to uncoil a little bit, but not too much. Alright, now I say about 1.5 inches, 2 inch diameter. You want it to be not too big, but not too small. So I'd say about 1.5 inches. Take your little end, apply the glue to the end there, and lay it over. Now this one's fun. You can do a couple different designs. For this design, I am going to just go with the classic square basket. So I'm going to take one side, pinch it, go to the other side, pinch it, fold it out. And again, this is very forgiving, so you can do it any way you want. Pinch a fourth side. And finally pinch one last side. And then you have, it's trying to bounce up, you have a square. You also have a second option. Let me show you that real quick. This one is a little bit more rounded. This is the part that takes the longest. I recommend, honestly, when you're starting to, after you've really learned how to quill, turning on the TV, just turning on a movie, TV show, and as you're actually doing the process of quilling the paper, watch a little something, because it takes time sometimes. Coiling. Or take it as a mindfulness kind of trick. Allow yourself to kind of meditate, relax. Okay, we've got ourselves a nice spiral. Okay, lay it down. Alright, now with this one, I'm going to take a little corner, pinch it. I'm going to take another corner up there, pinch that, and then you can either leave it like this.
It's rounded at the bottom.
Or you can pinch it at the bottom to make it triangular, or you can even take it, pinch it, and then pinch it not too far from that one.
Make it smaller.
Yeah, and make it kind of, instead of a square shape, you can do it more of a of off-center rectangle shape. See?
Oops. Okay, yeah.
I actually kind of like that. I think I might use that one. So now we're gonna start building our card. By now, our watercolor is dry. Our sky's looking good. We got some clear skies today, boys and girls. Ladies and gents. Right.
Just gotta watch out for that glue.
I know. Alright, so when building your heart, try to see where the curl is. Put those little corners together. Make sure you kind of fit them where they're leaning towards each other
Okay.
with the point. You can even, if you want to make it a little bit easier, you can even bend it to kind of give it a curl, have it fit a little bit more together, like so. Now,
Oh, you're putting it on the edges of it. Okay. I thought you were going to put them together at first, but okay.
yeah, we're going to put it together, but we're going to first coat our little edges, and then set this one down. And the one thing about this is that the glue dries clear. So if you make a mess, you make a mess. You want to make sure those little edges are covered because they will try to pop up. All right. A little heart. Don't break my heart. My achy breaky heart. Wait, I hope we don't get copyrighted for that. I mean, I technically sung it myself, so I don't think we can, but you never know. Cal's legal team, let us know. All right, there we go. A cute little heart.
Yay.
All right, now basket time. Basket, you want that about ½ inch from it. You're gonna just take some glue, apply that to the edges, apply it to the center spiral because it will pop up. You're gonna get a little glue on your hands. You'll be fine. It'll dry in like 5 seconds, trust me. Now, if it's a little bit off kilter, do what I do and kind of bend it how you think maybe if it was swaying in the wind. Like mine's a little bit off, but you can actually, when you're doing the ropes, cut them at different sizes to make it look like it's kind of floating through the air.
Swaying in the wind.
Swaying in the wind. Just sway in the wind. Right, so take your thin black. You can use white, but black shows up a little bit better.
Yeah, because of your background.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a darker background, then white would be okay.
Yeah, if you were maybe doing a sunset, a purple with maybe some orange would be really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so take some of your glue, carefully apply to the edges. At the top where it's going to be hooked to it, you're going to want to make sure you put a little glue on the tip. Right there, right there.
On both ends.
Mm-hmm. That way it hooks to the basket and the heart. And then we're just going to set it down alongside it, just like that. And you can make it as short and long as you want. Tear the other piece. Do the same exact thing. Apply glue to the edge because it is going to be sitting on its edge. Apply glue to each side. And then you can kind of curve it. Again, it kind of looks like it's floating in the wind.
Let's see. I can zoom in.
And just like that, you let it dry for just a little bit, and you have a fun and handmade Valentine's Day card.
And you can write stuff on it if you
Yep.
want to, on the
Easily.
front or
Happy
back or whatever.
Valentine's Day. I want to.
You could even use the blue watercolor instead of, with watercolor, if you don't wet the paper first, if it's dry when you apply it, just get the watercolor a little wet. You want the color to be more intense, and you could actually write something in the blue if you wanted to on there. But
Yep. There's
So-
multiple ways. See, and that's the thing, is that it's one of those kind of things that you can make it your own in any way you want.
all right, that was fun. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I guess we can talk about, and then you can always have them turn out different ways, because she did the square-shaped one on the other one, yep.
And that
And-
one is darker than that one, because I
Mhm.
started out with it drier
Oh,
versus this one, which I wanted to go for more of a light.
lighter color, okay.
Mhm.
And you can attach, like, I noticed on the other one, you have it a little more straighter
Mhm.
attached there, and this one's a little more further out.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's different ways of doing it. There's not just one way of doing it. So, yeah, I think this is pretty cool. So you'll have a Valentine's Day card that you can make for somebody, and you could even
Personalize it.
put stuff on the inside, too, if you wanted to. You won't be able to do any of the quilling stuff on the inside,
Yeah.
because then you couldn't
But
close
you
it.
can write
But
a sweet, heartfelt message on the inside.
right, yep.
You make my heart soar, Valentine.
There you go. That's right. And we're also, I'm going to zoom this out so it won't be so zoomed in. And I'm going to have to put that up there. And I'm going to, just so it won't be reversed, I'm going to see how I'm going to do. This is what we're doing next. Here, I'll let you hold it. There we go. That's what we're going to be doing next week. And it's actually going to be next week because this one got postponed. So it's not every other week like we normally do. But just call up here to get supplies, sign up for supplies for this one, and then you'll be able to come and pick up the supplies for this heart-shaped painting next Thursday. So call up here if you're interested, and I will get the supplies ready for you, and you can pick them up on Thursday, anytime that day. And this one's actually, you just use a couple of foam brushes and one paintbrush for this one. So if you're interested, I forgot what type of painting this is called, but it has a certain name. I forget.
Brushstroke?
Something like that, yeah.
Either way, it's super pretty. And it's super fun. Again, another personalized Valentine's Day gift.
It won't be Valentine's Day anymore, but, you know, it could be even something that you just want to have decorative in your house, you know. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope
right.
y'all enjoyed this one, and
Thanks,
we'll send you. See you next week, okay? Bye.
Bye.